Hey everyone! Want to take charge of your money and build a secure future? Today, we're exploring 8 habits that will help you achieve your financial goals. These simple, proven steps can transform your finances. Let's dive in. Habit 1. Set clear and specific financial goals. The foundation of financial success is knowing exactly what you're aiming for. Vague dreams like I want to save more or I want to be rich don't provide direction. Instead, you need smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, I want to buy a house someday, set a goal like, I will save $20,000 for a down payment on a home by December 2028. This breaks down to saving about $555 a month over 3 years, which gives you a clear target to work toward. Why does this matter? Clear goals act like a roadmap. They help you prioritize spending, avoid distractions, and measure progress. Write your goals down. Studies show that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. Break big goals into smaller milestones to stay motivated. For instance, if your goal is that $20,000 down payment, aim for $5,000 in the first year. Celebrate when you hit that mark. To make this habit stick, create a vision board or a note on your phone with your goals. Revisit them monthly to stay focused. If your circumstances change, say, you get a new job, adjust your goals accordingly. For example, if you're aiming to pay off $10,000 in student loans in 2 years, calculate how much you need to pay monthly, $417, and track your progress. Clear, specific goals turn dreams into reality. Habit 2. Create and stick to a budget. A budget is your financial GPS. It tells you where your money is going and keeps you on track. Without one, you're likely overspending without even realizing it. The average American household spends about $60,000 a year, but many don't know where it all goes. To start, track every dollar for 1 month using a free app like Mint, YNAB, or even a notebook. Categorize your expenses: rent, groceries, subscriptions, eating out, etc. A great framework is the 50/30/20 rule. 50% of your income goes to necessities, housing, utilities, groceries, 30% to wants, entertainment, travel, hobbies, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. For example, if you earn $4,000 a month after taxes, that's $2,000 for needs, $1,200 for wants, and $800 for savings or debt. If that feels too rigid, customize it, maybe 60/20/20 if your rent is high. The key is to allocate every dollar a job before the month starts, a method called zero-based budgeting. Sticking to a budget requires discipline. Review it weekly to catch overspending early. For instance, if you notice you're spending $200 a month on takeout, cut back to $100 and redirect the rest to savings. Automate bill payments and savings transfers to reduce temptation. If unexpected expenses pop up, adjust your budget, maybe skip a night out to cover a car repair. Over time, budgeting becomes second nature, giving you control and confidence over your finances. Habit 3. Build an emergency fund. Life is full of surprises. A flat tire, a medical bill, or a sudden layoff can throw your finances into chaos without a safety net. An emergency fund is your buffer against these shocks. Aim to save 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in a separate, accessible account, like a high-yield savings account offering 4 to 5% interest. For example, if your monthly expenses are $3,000, target $9,000 to $18,000. That sounds daunting, so start small. Even $1,000 can cover most minor emergencies like a phone replacement or urgent dental work. Begin by saving $50 or $100 a month, whatever you can afford. For instance, cutting one coffee shop visit a week could save $20 a month. Automate transfers to your emergency fund right after payday to make it effortless. Keep this money separate from your checking account to avoid dipping into it for non-emergencies. A real-life example: a friend of mine faced a $2,000 car repair but avoided credit card debt because her $3,000 emergency fund covered it. Building this fund takes time, so be patient. If you use it for an emergency, like a $500 vet bill, prioritize rebuilding it. An emergency fund isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind, knowing you can handle life's curveballs without derailing your financial goals. Either way, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's continue. Habit 4. Pay off high-interest debt. High-interest debt, like credit card balances, is a wealth killer. The average U.S. credit card interest rate is over 20%, meaning a $5,000 balance could cost you $1,000 a year in interest alone. Paying off this debt is like giving yourself a guaranteed return on your money. Start by listing all your debts, credit cards, personal loans, etc., along with their interest rates and minimum payments. Focus on the debt with the highest interest rate first, a strategy called the avalanche method. For example, say you have a $3,000 credit card balance at 22% interest and a $10,000 student loan at 6%. Pay the minimum on the student loan, say, $100 a month, and throw every extra dollar at the credit card. If you pay $500 a month on that $3,000 balance, you could clear it in 7 months, saving hundreds in interest. Once it's paid off, roll that $500 into the next debt or into savings. To free up cash for debt repayment, look for expenses to cut, cancel unused subscriptions or negotiate lower bills. If you're overwhelmed, consider a balance transfer to a 0% interest card for 12 to 18 months, but only if you can pay it off before the promotional rate ends. Avoid new debt by paying with cash or debit for daily expenses. Knocking out high-interest debt frees up your income and reduces stress, putting you closer to your financial goals. Habit 5. Invest early and consistently. Investing is the key to growing your wealth over time, and the earlier you start, the better. Thanks to compound interest, even small amounts invested regularly can snowball into significant sums. For example, if you invest $200 a month starting at age 25 in a low-cost index fund with an average 8% annual return, you could have over $500,000 by age 65. Wait until 35, and that same $200 a month grows to only about $200,000. Time is your superpower here. Start with your employer's 401k plan, especially if they match contributions. That's essentially free money. For instance, if your employer matches 100% of your contributions up to 5% of your $60,000 salary, that's an extra $3,000 a year. If you don't have a 401k, open an individual retirement account, IRA, through a platform like Vanguard or Fidelity. Choose low-cost, diversified investments like index funds or ETFs, which have fees as low as 0.04% compared to 1% or more for actively managed funds. The key is consistency. Set up automatic contributions, even if it's just $50 a month, and don't try to time the market. Studies show that steady investing outperforms attempts to buy low and sell high. If you're nervous about market dips, remember that dollar cost averaging, investing a fixed amount regularly, reduces risk over time. For example, investing $100 monthly in an S&P 500 fund over 20 years has historically weathered crashes and still delivered strong returns. Start small, stay consistent, and let time work its magic. Habit 6. Live below your means. Living below your means is about spending less than you earn and prioritizing your financial goals over flashy purchases. In the US, it's easy to fall into lifestyle inflation. When your income rises, so does your spending on bigger houses, fancier cars, or more vacations. The average American household carries $7,000 in credit card debt, often from chasing a lifestyle beyond their means. Instead, aim to create a gap between your income and expenses to fuel savings and investments. For example, if you earn $5,000 a month, try to live as if you earn $4,000. That extra $1,000 can go toward an emergency fund, debt repayment, or investments. Practical ways to do this include cooking at home instead of dining out, saving $100 a month by cutting 2 restaurant meals, or shopping secondhand for clothes or furniture. If you get a raise, commit to saving or investing at least 50% of it before upgrading your lifestyle. For instance, a $500 monthly raise could mean $250 more to your 401k, which could grow to $100,000 in 20 years at 8% return. This habit isn't about deprivation, it's about intentional choices. Before buying something, ask, do I need this, or do I just want it? Will it help me reach my goals? Living below your means gives you financial breathing room and accelerates your progress toward financial independence. Habit 7. Educate yourself about personal finance. Knowledge is your greatest asset when it comes to money. The more you understand about budgeting, investing, taxes, and debt, the better equipped you are to make smart decisions. Unfortunately, only 17 states require personal finance education in high schools, so most Americans are left to learn on their own. Start by dedicating 15 minutes a week to learning something new. Read books like The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley, which shows how ordinary people build wealth through frugality and discipline, or Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin, which reframes your relationship with money. Podcasts are another great resource. Try The Ramsey Show for practical debt advice or Choose 5 for strategies on financial independence. Follow reputable financial blogs like NerdWallet or The Motley Fool, but be cautious of influencers pushing get-rich-quick schemes or risky investments like crypto scams. For example, understanding the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA, tax-free growth versus tax-deferred, can save you thousands in taxes over time. Learning also helps you avoid costly mistakes. For instance, knowing that high-fee mutual funds can eat 20% or more of your returns over decades can steer you toward low-cost index funds. If you're curious about a topic like tax-advantaged accounts or credit scores, search for free resources from trusted sites like IRS, Gov or Investopedia. Building this habit empowers you to take control and avoid being taken advantage of by shady advisors or predatory lenders. Habit 8. Review and adjust your plan regularly. Your financial plan isn't a one-and-done deal. Life changes, and your plan needs to evolve with it. A new job, a growing family, or an unexpected expense like a medical bill can shift your priorities. Set a recurring check-in, every 3 or 6 months, to review your budget, savings, investments, and progress toward your goals. For example, if your goal is to save $15,000 for a new car in 2 years, check if you're on track to save $625 a month. If you're falling short, adjust by cutting expenses or finding extra income, like a side gig. During these reviews, celebrate wins to stay motivated. Paid off a $2,000 credit card? Awesome! Redirect that payment to savings. Also, reassess your investments. If you're 30 and heavily invested in bonds, you might shift to stocks for higher growth, as they historically return 7 to 10% annually compared to 2 to 3% for bonds. Use free tools like Personal Capital to track your net worth and see how your assets and debts are trending. Regular reviews also help you adapt to economic changes. If interest rates rise, consider moving your emergency fund to a high-yield savings account offering 5% instead of 0.5%. If your income drops, you might pause contributions to non-essential savings and focus on necessities. These check-ins keep you accountable and ensure your plan stays aligned with your life. Block 30 minutes on your calendar every quarter. It's like a health checkup for your finances. These habits aren't flashy, but they're powerful. They require discipline, not genius. Start small, pick 1 or 2 habits to focus on this month. Maybe it's setting up a $50 automatic transfer to a savings account or reading 1 chapter of a personal finance book. Small steps compound over time, just like your investments. You don't need a huge income or a finance degree to succeed, just consistency and a willingness to learn. Take action today. Write down 1 financial goal and 1 habit you'll start this week. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for listening, and here's to your financial success.